Okay, so everything laid out on the table. Let me go over some, I guess, numbers and explanations here. In total, everything that you see plus the case, that all came to about 700 bucks. Now, before you cry foul on me and say, well, wait a minute, you only, based on your last video, made about $550, give or take. The case, I decided to get on my own because I could certainly use the computer case of my wife's computer, but I decided I wanted something a little bit nicer for her, so I bought the case. So if you take the case out of the equation, the case itself was on sale for about $110. Normally I think that's like a $140 or $150 case. Actually no, I think it's about $130, but I paid $115. So if you take that out, we're down to about $585. Now, when you factor in all the rebates that I got, I think in total I have about $45 in rebates, and I think it's a $25 rebate on the power supply and another $20 on the video card. So $45 in rebates brings me to $545, not including the case, and that is right where I wanted to be as far as price goes. So in total, I think I hit the mark as best as I could. Alright, so here's the goal with this build. For 550 bucks, the intent was to build an overall solid PC using parts from my wife's existing computer, as well as some of the new parts that I was able to get here. My wife is not an extreme gamer, and that's not what this is. And you can, sort of tell, obviously, based on the video card that I got and the processor and that kind of thing. It was a neat little exercise to try and put together my list of parts for the budget. And what you notice, there are a few things that I didn't get. There's no storage drive, or mouse, or keyboard, or monitor, or optical drive, because all of those things we have, and we're going to be using again from my wife's current setup. And so we wanted to build something that was a solid performer all the way around. So my wife does do some online gaming, but she also surfs the internet, does email, and day-to-day normal computer stuff. And I wanted to make a computer within the dollar confines that could do all of that and actually do it all very well. And I think with what I bought, I think I accomplished that. Okay, so let me see if I can explain a little bit about why I picked what I picked. So first, a second ago I just said I didn't buy any hard drive, and that's not entirely true because I did get a solid state drive. This particular one from OCZ is a 60 gig, and it's a SATA 3 6 gig per second interface, so it's faster. It's not the fastest one, it's not the highest performing one, but it will be a nice upgrade, and I'll be using this for her operating system. Went with 8 gigs of memory. Again, not, this is going to be definitely a nice boost. 8 gigs is plenty. The difference between 4 gigs and 8 gigs was, minuscule, so I just went with 8. And this happened to be on sale, so that's why I got these. I'm very happy with the G-Skill memory that I have in my build, so I went with another, went with G-Skill again. Motherboard. So you'll notice of all the parts that I got, this is probably the latest and greatest, at least as far as Intel goes, as far chipset anyways, because it's the Z77 chipset. I had decided, I was deciding between this board from Gigabyte and a competing one from Asus, and I decided to go with Gigabyte this time around because price-wise, this guy happened to be on sale. So I think it was like $140 or so on sale. Plus, Newegg was giving a year extended warranty on this for free. So, I mean, you really can't go wrong. Gigabyte makes some really decent boards. I've used them before, and they've been pretty solid. Z77 supports Ivy Bridge, and the newer Ivy Bridge enhancements. So like the Virtue MVP stuff and whatever else. PCI Gen 3. Now, I didn't get an Ivy Bridge processor. I did get a low-end Sandy Bridge, the i3-2120. Again, price was the reason there, but this processor is not a slouch in any way and will work in this motherboard. And because I got a an Ivy Bridge compatible motherboard with the Z77 chipset, in the future, if I wanted to get an Ivy Bridge processor, all I would have to do is buy one, and I'll have everything in place to be able to use it. And that will be a significant upgrade for her, you know, in the future, and it'll be really simple to do. So I thought, you know, go with Z77 versus a Z68 board. To me, that didn't make that made a lot of sense, because price-wise they were about the same. I know that the processor is going to work, and I think for the future, all I'd have to do is buy a new chip and be good to go. One other thing you notice that I didn't get was a CPU cooler, because this i3 won't be overclocked. It's not a K series, it's not an i5 2500K like I've got. So I don't need an extreme cooler for this thing. I think the stock cooler would be okay. I'm going to monitor the temps on this. If I see that it's hotter than I would want it to be, then I'll get, you know, a cooler for it, but I really don't think it's going to be a problem. Okay, video card, 6850. It's $120 or so, maybe $115 after rebate. Pretty decent video card. Again, not top of the line, but for what we're going to be doing, this is going to be just fine. My wife has a 20-inch widescreen, and the resolution is not, you know, full 1080p, so we're going to get really good performance for what this is, and it's going to be just fine for what our needs are. And last but not least, the power supply. So I went with this 600 watt power supply for a couple of reasons. Number one, it was cheap, and that was probably the biggest reason why. I like the fact that it's you know, 80 plus for efficiency. It got pretty decent reviews. It's modular, but at the end of the day, it's a 600 watt power supply, which is a little overkill, but for the price, I think I paid $70 for it on sale, and that was with the Newegg discount right off the bat, and I get another $20 or $25 or something like that off. So for less than $50, I get a pretty decent power supply that's modular, 600 watts. You know, I don't know that you can beat that. I'm a fan of Corsair power supplies, but they were a little outside of my budget, and I wanted to stick to what I had. All right, guys, that's it. You know, this project is a long time coming, and finally, I'm excited to get started. I know my wife's excited because she's getting a new computer, and you know, I'll try and get this documented, and I will have the videos edited as quickly as I can, so I can post them up to the channel as quickly as I can. You know, a few more things to point out. Number one, I do have a Twitter account, which is relatively new. It's the same name as the channel, so definitely follow me so you can get updates as to when new videos are posted. I'll have the link below in the description. And then also, I just wanted to say thanks. I appreciate all the subscribers, and I appreciate the fact that people actually care to watch my videos and actually, you know, post comments and stuff. And you know, for a guy just being in his basement making videos, it's always pretty cool to me that you know, that I actually have subscribers, which is kind of funny. At any rate, you know, just want to say thanks, and I guess that's it. So we'll see you next time.